Yeah, thanks, Erica. Game one in the books. I would say, a first half that was, two teams that canceled each other out. A little bit of sloppy play, a cold night. Not a ton of chance creation in the first half. Second half started, and I thought that we looked like ourselves again, and kept them pinned in and did a good job of creating chances. Showed a lot of character to get back in the game. Obviously, we're never happy with a tie at home, but at the same time, early in the year, still things to build on. And again, the guys pushed till the end. Could have stole it there with Mikel at the back post on a different night, but overall, a point. Thanks to the fans for coming out on a freezing cold night. Some good things, some things we can clean up and certainly work on for sure. But we have time to quickly regroup and go again on Tuesday night here.
Do you see any commonality, both of the two games so far?
Yeah.
You've been trailing 1-0.5. Any commonalities in the starts in either of those?
Yeah, I would say the one thing is I don't want it to continue, So I think that we prefer to start the game on the front foot, be the team that's creating chances. I think if you look at the first half, it's not like Chicago came at us a ton. I think we gave up one shot on goal and paid for it. So sometimes soccer goes that way. Second half too, we had them pinned in, and they came down one time and punished us. So that can happen. But I would say that they were two similar games in that you get behind a goal, you show character, which is good to come back into the game and take control of it and dominate for long stretches down in Saprissa and then also tonight. But at the end of the day, we're never happy with a point in this building. So the locker room, is a little bit frustrated, but at least showed some character to come back, which is important. But again, a lot we can clean up and certainly work on.
Good, John, then Joe.
For Michael to score that goal to the equalizer, do you think it might help him and keep a little bit of a burden off his shoulders that kind of maybe was carrying a little bit down the stretch last year of not having scored?
Yeah, look, the job of a striker is to score goals. I haven't spoken to Mikel yet, but I'm sure he's mad he didn't score the one at the end. That should win the game because he's good enough to score that one. So when we're not at our best, you need your top players to be the ones that make the difference, and certainly a lot of nights that happens, whether it's Julian, whether it's Danny, whether it's Mikel. But at the same time, look, he had I would say a good game, but the difference between a good game and a great game is finishing that one off, and then we're having different discussion here. So the margins are tight. Like I said, I think Mikel had a good night, but any good striker would tell you he wants that one at the end that can win the game. So good, but we want great. That's kind of the way it is. And again, this is week one, so we won't overreact, Jonathan. But it is important for him to get a goal tonight. I think that was a big goal. And now having the consistency, getting on the ball more in the run of play, being involved, and finishing plays off at the end of the game is now the next step.
What have you seen from that right side of combo?
Yeah.
And Quinn, I know it's hard to not to compare it to what Bizo and Bedoya did on that flank in the system last year. But
Yeah.
I guess in 2 games, it looks like that connection's pretty strong.
Well, yeah, back to Matt's quick comment on the 2 games looking the same. They really did. And actually, we wanted to bring Ollie into the game earlier and throw Quinn up top. But the right side was being dominated so much that you didn't want to tweak with it. So we put Ollie in on the left, which is a little different and a little later than we wanted to get him in the game. But it was because of that right side was between Nathan and Quinn. I mean, they made them sub pretty quick. They went through 2 people. Obviously, tough. Gutman takes the injury early, but we went at Gasper pretty good in the second half. They made a change and it slowed it down a little bit, but I thought Quinn and Nathan, the understanding between the two, the chance creation on that side was really, really, really dangerous. I would still say with Quinny as he's still a teenager, so created a ton. I thought was probably one of our best players tonight. But now in those certain moments too, the difference between slowing down at the end to make the final pass or hit the final shot, and getting when to dribble versus when to pass, and when to pass versus when to dribble, getting those little things right. He's still going to work on and improve, but overall, he was excellent tonight, and Nathan as well. So that's a good little partnership that you have, and we didn't want to mess with it, so we didn't make a change on that side. So, yeah, it was a good performance from them.
Can you comment on Semley's performance tonight? What were your thoughts there? And is Andre back for Tuesday, or how's he doing?
Yeah, look, well, Oliver, he wasn't involved a ton, and those sometimes are the hardest nights for goalkeepers, because all of a sudden now, there's only I think a chance or two in the second half. He did make the big save on Barlow on the mini breakaway, which was great to keep it at 2-2. So I thought he did a good job, but it wasn't a night where he had to face 15, 20 shots, and make saves. So he was solid. I think it'll get confidence now from the game. I think the first goal kind of, we retreat a little bit too much into the box, and if you let somebody shoot from that distance at this level, you're going to get punished and you're going to pay for it. So I haven't seen it back, where it went in and that kind of thing, but he'd probably say he could do better on the first one. Second one's a bit of a scramble. Maybe he could parry it a little further, but I thought he had a good night overall. And, now he has that confidence that he's got that first game out of under his belt, and I think it'll only get better from here. But good performance. Wasn't involved a ton, and those sometimes are the hardest ones for goalkeepers, because it's a ruthless job in that you can be involved a ton for 80 of the minutes, and then all of a sudden one play is what people remember. So I thought he did good.
Tuesday's game time decision?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see with Andre. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. It'll be up to Dre. He knows his body best.
We'll go 4. We'll go David 1, 2, and 3.
Hey Jim, how would you assess how your players handled the first game with the replacement referees, and how do you go from MLS play back to the Champions Cup?
Yeah, look, the refereeing I thought was fine. I'll always, regardless of whatever refs are out there, there's always going to be controversial and close plays that could go either way. That's normal, right? So, I think on the one that Danny scores, where it's called a goal live, unless there's 100% angle, and I haven't seen it yet, where you can tell clear and it's in line with, you can't really tell 100%. So I think by rule that should stay as a goal, because you can't really tell. But I think the other ones, the big ones, I think they got right. There's a questionable, maybe Jimenez has a handball on the one, but these are the same discussions we have after every game. So the referees were fine. That's a non-issue. I thought two teams that kind of canceled each other out. I thought in the first half. And the second half, I thought we looked like ourselves and went at them. In terms of now balancing the competitions, we have a job to do on Tuesday, so we'll recover quickly. We'll probably have a few changes to keep guys fresh in this game. We wanted to keep a confident group going after the performance in Saprissa. We kept our best players on the field attacking-wise as long as we could, and created enough chances to get a third goal tonight, a winner. Didn't get it done, and now we have to move on to Saprissa and survive and advance in that competition.
Jim, how surprised are you with the fitness levels of your group? I mean, early on in the season, only one substitution tonight with Allied. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, the guys are fit. I thought Bueno and Ali came into the last game. A couple other guys came in really late and did a good job. We know the guys that are ready to play MLS minutes, and we're going to use those guys. Obviously, like I said, we have a third game now on short rest that we'll probably tweak and adjust things for sure. But yeah, the group is fit. Our sports performance department's done a great job. I like where the guys are at. You could see them pushing even at the end of the game tonight to try to get that third goal. Just didn't go in for us. But again, that's how soccer is sometimes. You get the bounces some nights. Some nights you play really well like we did in the second half and you walk away with a point. Some nights you play terrible and you win. That can happen. So we have to take the point, move on, and take pride in not getting beat, especially in this building.
Jim, earlier today you spoke about budding partnerships that are developing, especially with Quinn and some other players. But the one I want to ask you about is in terms of Glesnes and Damien,
yeah.
Especially tonight containing a
Yeah.
huge striker who just
Right.
joined, right? $12 million player.
Yeah.
Would love to hear your thoughts on that partnership.
Yeah, I think that they complement each other well, and that Damian can run and put out fires and have incredible emergency defending, like any better than any player I've ever really seen on his recovery runs. Almost took a red card tonight, but so that was a bad example. But I thought he had a really solid game with his speed. He can chase down really fast attackers. Jacob did a really good job because his movement in the box is very good. It's very dangerous, and Jacob did a really good job of getting a body on him in certain moments, being tight to him when he checked off the line. I thought that overall they did a really good job on, like you said, a $12 million+ striker who's just still new to his team and going to get better and better. I think if you get him service, he's going to score a lot of goals in this league. But we did a good job limiting his touches, but you could see his quality. But the partnership between those two is a strong one. Obviously, Jack Elliott's coming off an injury too, and we're really, really lucky to have the luxury of three great center backs. So whoever we partner together, or if all three play, they really complement each other and know each other's strengths and weaknesses and tendencies, and that's a real positive moving forward when we get into the busy part of the schedule.
We'll go last one right here.
Jim, it looked like Chicago played a little bit physical with you guys in that first half, but then you guys came right out to shoot, bringing tons of offensive pressure. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, I think look, in the early games of the year, and you saw it already by some of the scorelines tonight, there's always some boring 0-0s. There's not a lot of chances. It becomes a fight. It becomes about fitness, like we talked about. And you're right. They were a little bit better, I thought, in the first half to get into second balls, the physicality of things. Things were dropping to them. As the second half went, I think you create your own luck by how hard you work. And I think we came out, scored the goal really early in the second half that gets disallowed, but we still showed that we were going to play on the front foot and be proactive. And I think that's when we're at our best. If we're reactive and tentative, that's when we get ourselves in trouble. And at the second half, there's still mistakes like crazy for us, but we did it our way, which was going forward, being physical with them, winning tackles, winning duels, and I thought created a ton of chances in the second half and just didn't do quite enough to get that third goal.
God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.